All right. So, as a previous administrator for many years, what did you do to empower your staff?
That's an interesting question because it has many sides to it. Because it would depend on, of course, the situation, the staff member, what we were working on, that sort of thing. Um, I guess the most, first of all, the most impactful thing is support. Just making sure that the teachers have what they need to do the job they have to do. But it goes beyond that. If you have teachers that are looking to do that extra bit for their kids to take the learning a step further or what have you, but they need to take a risk or they need extra materials or what have you, they need to know that they're in a safe environment, that the risks are okay to take if the rewards are there. My job was to make sure they had the resourcing, make sure they had the time, access to other people, access to funding, whatever they needed to do to take the learning that extra step. That's what I made sure was in place. Um, I guess empowering them so that in the end they would know that it was okay to step outside the boundaries if it was in the service of education and the learning for the kids. Um, a lot of teachers believe that the system is lockstep and it's very prescribed and prescriptive in terms of curriculum and all of that, when really it isn't. We don't teach curriculum anymore, we teach outcomes. So if a teacher needs to be empowered to understand that it's okay to step outside what they experienced when they were in school, then that's an easy step to take. You can just basically guide that, and it doesn't take long for the teachers to realize that okay, I really don't need permission to do this, but what I do need is resources and so on. And they get a little bit bolder. They find it easier to ask, and the kids benefit. Other teachers, they may be struggling or lagging or just basically stuck in the rut, and empowerment's a little more difficult for them because you got to put them in a place where empowerment is going to bring them along or have a desired impact. You don't want to empower the status quo. You don't want to empower, I don't want to say lazy, but you don't want to empower complacency. Okay? You want everybody striving for that extra bit. So those teachers can be brought on board. They can they'll see the successes happening around the building. They can be brought in on decision-making processes. I used to make the teachers. They used to take turns all being principal for a day. When I was out of the building, I would just take somebody and say, "You're in charge," just so they'd all get a handle on what was involved, and just sort of try to humanize the position a little bit so they'd understand how the building was run and what the constraints were and so on. But as far as empowering those people, once they come on board and they're in sync with the school mission and the vision for the building and sort of walking the line, as it were, then they can be put into situations where they can help with decision making. They can help with other teachers meeting their goals. It's just the whole portfolio system I found was really, really good for actually encouraging teachers to track the stuff they did. And a teacher who's actively trying to improve is a teacher that's easy to empower. Right? So there's the line that you walk. Right? You got to make sure that everybody's on line with that improvement mantra. And unfortunately not everybody is, but the majority will be.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, so you told me about what you did to empower them. What were the benefits of that empowerment? Why did you do those things?
Well, first and foremost, you have to know that when you're in the office, everybody's out in their classrooms doing their job, and that the kids are being served properly, and that learning is happening, and it's happening in the right way. But the other piece of the puzzle is once a teacher's been empowered, they're much more confident in where they stand. They understand me. They know what my expectations are. They know how to meet them. And they're, I guess, more comfortable in their own skin because they're not worrying about what I'm thinking. Right? They're actually, they're truly empowered in that they are members of the building with standing.